Will this Poulan chainsaw ever run again? Years ago, I was told that this saw would never run. It was a piece of junk. So I tore it apart the other day, and what you see before me is all the parts laid out. I've cleaned them, and I'm ready to reassemble this saw. So follow along to see if this saw will run. Follow to the end, because there's going to be a surprise. Join me as I share stories of my life as a kid, bringing junk home and turning it into something useful. Fact is, I'm still doing this today at age 69. The first step in reassembling this old saw is putting the new gas lines in the tank, and I didn't know which size to get, so I bought them all. And there's the tank, so I have to get them lines in here. I did pick up a couple of more filters. Not sure if I need them. The old one isn't that bad. Maybe I will just reuse the old one. We'll see. So follow along as I start the reassembly on this gas tank. Well, I don't know if I know how to do that. The issue I see with these holes in this gas tank is simply that these holes are a certain size, and it takes a certain size gas line to fit in there tight enough to keep everything from leaking. I know there's some tricks of the trade, and I'm going to start with one of them. I don't know if it'll work. One trick is that you can put this in there, you fold this over a little, you can shove it up in there, melt that, feed that down through the gas line and up through this hole and pull that through. Let's see if that works. Let's see if I can't get this in there. I've not ever done this before where it's been successful, but there's always the first time. So let's take a pliers and fold this over like that so that it's really flat. Let's fold it over one more time. I've seen this done a couple different ways. This is just one way. I don't know if it'll work, but let's try it. Put that in there like that, and wow, that might be too fat. Let's get that a little tighter if we can. Now, one way is you trim the edge of the line off, get a little thin spot, get it started in there, and lubricate it and pull it through. Let's try this way first, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, we haven't really lost anything. Let me get something to shrink. The idea is to shrink this tube down around that notch right there. Have my little torch here. Like I said, this is the first time for me on this application. Let's just heat that up. That nice and hot. Ay, it's melting. Is that what it's supposed to do? I really don't know. That looks hot to me. Something's melting out of there. Ouch, 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 ouch. No, you don't want to touch that. You knew that, didn't you? Okay, let's let that cool off just for a bit. Oh, no, that melted right off and broke. I don't see how that's gonna work. Do you guys? That's cooled off. Let's put a little oil on there. So it's lubricated nicely. Now let's see if we can get it started in the hole. Let's start it. It's started. Oh, what the world? Look at that. Gotta be kidding me. That worked. Look at that. That's so tight. I can't already believe it. That worked. Let's cut this off now. Have my scissors. These are really nice scissors. I'll cut that off. And we're going to put the new filter in. And we're going to pull this so I know I got enough. Shove it in the tank. It's way too much. Pull it back. So, I'm a little bit surprised. This is actually working. So we'll leave that like that. Okay, the next one is a smaller hole, which is a vent. I'm gonna try to put this line in there. But how can I do that? It doesn't have to go in very far. Another way I was showing on how to get these lines in is just trim one side so it's small. Get your tank and fit that down through the hole. It'll squeeze and go in there. Reach in and grab it. And then pull. Oh. Look at that. Both of those ways work. I've got to say that works pretty good. I wasn't expecting that, but that line went in there very nicely. Wow, that's great. Now let's shove in this little tip right here. Was up in here like that. Pull that up. Oh, that's the wrong one. We'll pull this back and put it in there. And then I'm certain this was for ventilation. The old line didn't look like it had anything on it. This probably doesn't either. I'm going to leave it off. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get this tank back into the saw, and then I can trim these off as I need it. Let me get this stuff out of the way. Oh man, it's like the One Stooge is working here, isn't it? Hey, I'm really impressed on the way them gas lines went in. I could have saved a lot of disassembly if I would have known how this tank actually came out. But Yeah, I needed to clean it anyway. Uh-oh. What? I hate uh-ohs. Let's put this in. Boy, that snapped right back into place. Look at that. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. Let's put the wiring back on so we don't forget that. I might need needle nose pliers. This wire right here came off, and I need to slip it back on. And let's get that done. If I can get it in there. Oh yeah. Come on. There she goes. Well, guys, gals, the tank's back in. Let's put the flywheel back on. I wouldn't have had to take that off, but look how clean she turned out. Isn't that nice? Let's put that back on. It has key in there. You know what? I would have had to take that off because this tank would not have slid out with that flywheel on there. So I didn't waste anything. Now, where is the flywheel nut? That's the $1,000,000 question. Flywheel bolt, where are you? I thought, oh, here it is. I'm pretty sure that's it. Is there a washer? Yes, there is. Let's put that down on there. By the way, these little clippy springs here, they didn't function very well, but after I cleaned it up and a little schmutz on there, and we got her working pretty good. Let's put this here on. Okay. And hopefully we didn't mess anything up cleaning this thing. So we have nice spark yet. I wonder what kind of torque that's supposed to have. Oh, look at that. It's a bolt stuck on the magnet. I'd have wondered what happened to that. I'm glad you saw that. Thanks for telling me. Torque. It's good enough. That works, that works. Good deal. Okay, now what's next in this jigsaw puzzle? Well, shoot. Wonder if I should just go ahead and put that carburetor on since everything is mostly out of the way. Nope. Should have the handle on first. This, let's just think about this a minute. This has to go on, then this. I think I want to put this handle on next. I just figured something out. See this part? That's what goes in there. Oh boy, sometimes you just don't have it quite put together, do you, Marv? I get it. Let's take this back apart. And, you know, you see parts and they don't register exactly what they're for. And all of a sudden, oh, yeah. Well, that's what's happened here. I don't know what I'm doing, but that's part of it, I guess. You know, the second time I'd do this, once I get her together here, if I do it again, it'd be a lot easier the second time, wouldn't it? Absolutely. Okay, let's take this one back off. Guys, I'm going to be as surprised as you if the thing actually runs and stays running. But I'm not out anything. They told me it was junk. That's just a little bit. Now let's get this in there. Well, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? It's amazing. Once you get something figured out, how much better it seems all of a sudden. Yep, that's the way it goes. That's the biggest issue I have in this saw, putting it back together. I guess I can't complain, can I? Got that oiler working though. When I was cleaning that thing up, I tore that oiler apart. I was surprised it actually worked. Put a little oil in it and started plunging it and blew out the holes. Boy, it was amazing. Okay. Oops, wrong wrench. It's a 1/2 inch. There we go. And there we go. Just like that. Okay, here's part of it, the oiler. Here's part of it. That's the choke. Nope, that's the choke. Well, where'd I put it? It's here somewhere. And all this mess. Oh, that's not the way it's supposed to work. I wonder if I put that on, if it's in the way. I don't think so. Let's just shove that in there and in there so it can't go anywhere. I had to re-loosen this because that oiler lever went clear down in here, which you can't see. So I need to actually put this on first before I bolt that arm back on. There we go, just like that. And then this goes, let me get it up in here so you can see better. My big old arms are in your way, like that. I'm not going to put much on, but I'm afraid if I don't put just a little dab of that, it's supposed to keep the threads from coming out of the thread lock. Let's put that in. And now let's push it slow. Hey, that works. Okay. Can you see that right there? And the idea is, when I push this, see the oil right there? It's hard to see with that light blinding. I get it. Let me turn it off. right there. See that? See that oil flopping out of there? That works good. Now we can put this up here. I believe we won't, and see this has thread lock on it also. So we're just gonna finger tighten that in for now until I'm sure we don't end take it off again. Once that's all tight, I can see how that works. I believe the next step is the carburetor. Let's find this carburetor. It goes on like this. I had it upside down. The gasket's still there. Let's put this on. I really think I need to hook up the gas line before I put that on. But where does it go? That goes right there. So are you saying that this went all the way over there and up into there? So if that was down in there like that, and this came like, let's get the old one out and see. It's laying here somewhere. Are you it? Yeah, look at that. That went like that right there. It was right down in there. It was down in there, flopping around like that. And that was there. That would have been, okay. Okay, we've got to figure out a length. So that goes like this. And we will cut it about right there. I think that's close. Scissors. Okay, that isn't working. Let me pull the carburetor back off and see what I can do. I'll bring it back when I get it done. Got it on there and it works. Choke works. Everything works. Oiler works. Okay, next step, I believe, is, let's see what we're going to do with this. I know that that goes down in there and it does something, but I'm not sure what. Okay, I believe I got it. Let's put this back on. Get that down in there and grab it with this. Let's recap here. I found where this hose right here, the little hose goes. We got this hooked up. I have the throttle hooked up, chokes hooked up, spark plugs out. I'm ready to put this on. Let's see if we can't get that started. Let's see what, oh, there we go. There we go. And then that goes right there. Starting to look like a saw again, isn't it? Let's put that muffler back on. This right here, I had to tear apart because this is, I think the technical name for that is spark arrestor. I guess it breaks the law a lot and you got to arrest it. That's all I can figure out. You know what I'm going to do? Should I or shouldn't I? Nah, I shouldn't. I was going to clean it up. I took it apart for one reason, and I told you that reason, but I'll tell you again. The screen was plugged, and I needed to get it unplugged. It should... Oh, that's enough torque. And that magnesium head, oh, that's as far as that's gonna go. So we'll put that there. We'll put these two in here. And shove that down back in there where it was and see if we can't get those to line up. It feels like it's lining up. Oh, maybe not. No, not really. Okay. Come up here a little higher so we can get this like this. And you can actually see what I'm doing. Let's take this back off and see why these aren't going in. Ah, I see why. That one's okay, but this one is off just a little. Let's loosen that back up. Oh, boy, who in the world tightened that? That's way tight. Oh, wait a minute. I did. There we go. Click. Torque. Okay. Before we... Let's see. That's going to go like that. How was that on there? Was these two screws right here. You know how I know that? It's called elimination. Hey, we'll put this back on and tighten it up. Process of elimination. Only two left that's remotely close, so we'll tighten that and we'll tighten this. And now we need the Allen wrench that I had to tighten these. That's not the right one. Is this one? Ah, yeah. Oh, let's get rid of these. Nope, this one first, this one second. Now let's do this the way we're supposed to. Let's clean that out. Can't get my wrench in there. Oh, probably got in there back in the 80s when I was running this saw, that dirt and grime. That's really old dirt and grime. That's antique dirt. We'll call it vintage dirt. It's probably, what, 30 years old? No, older than that. Okay, now this should be, oh my, yeah. That works good, good, good. Let's put the spark plug back in. I got a new one ordered, but it's not here. Got a new air cleaner ordered too, and it's not here. But once it gets here, we'll put all that stuff in, but we're just gonna get this assembled today, so when the time comes, we are ready. Oh, that's just the right amount of torque. I forgot to check the spark. I better do that. Oh, if I wouldn't have to redo so much, this would be easier, wouldn't it? You know what? I can't check the spark until I put the this stuff on. Let's get this gas cap back in there. Turn that on. And this is the recoil start. There we go. Now we got two. Wow, it's got a little compression. Let's find a little bit. Oops. What do you mean, oops? Well, I wonder if she still has spark. If she doesn't, I have some disassembling to do. Okay. Let's pull this out again. It is on the start side right there. Oh boy, it's got all kind of spark. It's got so much spark that I could start a V8. Oh, that's tight enough. I'm going to leave this off for now in case I got to put a little bit of fuel in that carburetor. Fact is, I'm going to right now. Here's some mixed gas. Okay. Get some in there. There. Now let's go get my mixed gas and put some in this tank. Uh-oh. I lost my little gizmo down in there. Where are you? Now it's down in there somewhere. One thing about it, it's not going anywhere. Where is it? There it is. Oh, well, that last link that was on this hook broke off. Right there it is. So I'm going to have to figure out how to hook this up. Might just have to buy a new one. They're not that expensive. This gas was just mixed up for my little rototiller that I put an edger on recently. I don't know if you remember that. If you saw it, I'll put a link in if you're interested in watching it. That's half full. Look here, I got an extra part. Well, that's not good. I know where it goes though, that's good. And it isn't hard to take it back apart and put it on, so we'll do that. Well, this gasoline evaporates. I think sure looks nicer. This was supposed to go right there. So let's take that back off and finish the job. I don't have so many tools around here that I can't find what I need ever. Did I put it over there? No. Oh, there it is, right in front of me. It'd have been a snake, it'd have bit me. Let's get this here off. It should stay right in place, at least long enough to That's one thing about a project. You never want to have leftover parts. Anyway, when I was a young man, an older guy, probably about my age, said, "Son, you never want to have any parts left over when you tear something apart." I never could figure out why, because over the years I've had parts left over and I put it back together and it still worked. So why do you have to put all the parts back on? If you know the answer to that one, leave it in the comments. Does that look better? Oh, torque. I don't know, guys, gals, whoever's watching. I will get this down on the floor while you're watching, and we'll see if we can't get this thing to run. That's going to go there like that. If I would have been on the ball, I'd have realized that there's a hole there and a hole there, and I could have pulled them screws out without even messing with this. But never claimed to be very smart. Let's get set up. I want to show you something. I didn't realize it, and I was just going to pull it a couple of times, but it started, and you didn't get to see it, but I want to show you now. Nuts. I really don't know how to react to that. That saw hasn't run like that. Oh shoot. I'm trying to think. When was the last time I ran this saw? Probably in the mid-90s. I stand before you with a saw that they told me could never run again. Defying all odds, it runs really good. I bought this saw in the early 80s, I'm gonna guess 83. Maybe even 82, I'm not sure. Could have been 84. But I tore it apart. I fixed a couple of things. Had issues with the gas tank. Only had one part left over, by the way. It was a screw. I found where it went, and I put it in. Happened to be the right one, too. I ran it with the chain on. The oiler's working good. Thing sounds good. The chain even feels sharp. I think I could take this to the woods today and cut wood if I wanted to. but I don't want to. So the question I ask you is, what do I do with this saw? What should I do with it? I'll never use it again. One of you need a saw? Drop in the comments below what you think I ought to do with this old saw. Appreciate you following me and watching to the end. If you like what I brought to you in this video and others, please subscribe. Can it be fixed? Yes, it can. Can you fix it? You're darn right you can. Until the next one.